Okay, so I've been mentioning for a while that we're going to be getting ready to sell what we call Old Gray here. This is a 1993 Ford E-150 conversion van with a high top, and it was purchased several years ago by my friend Greg, who did a great conversion on it, built it into a camper van. I've had it for I think about almost 2 years now, and but I ran into some trouble last spring down here in Nevada, where it was a difficult to diagnose drivability problem. We had several repairs done at that time. Finally ended up buying Deborah's van, because still at the same time, I had to get north. It was over 100 degrees here, and I just couldn't keep staying here trying to figure this out. So we stored it for summer. Deborah did go out and start it once a week and drive it a little bit throughout the summer to make sure that it wasn't just getting any damage from sitting or anything. And we eventually, this winter, were able to, after I got back down here, we were able to get it fixed. So it's running great now. So I'll go ahead and show you around the van and tell you the details. It does have a 5.0 liter V8 engine in it. It has 131,000 miles on the odometer, which is, pretty good for a vehicle this vintage. A quick look around inside here. So it's pretty well fully loaded: cruise control, air conditioning, power windows, power locks, all the goodies. This second port here, plug-in, is actually tied into the house system, so you can leave things plugged in while you're camped or the engine's turned off. Don't have to worry about it. Both the visors have mirrors. Ooh, there we go. Oops, I keep closing it. But both the visors do have mirrors. Plush interior and really comfortable. These seats in particular are really, really nice. I seriously considered seeing if I could swap them out with the white van, but I decided not to do that. So if you buy this van, you still get the comfortable seats. The passenger seat does not swivel. It doesn't have a swivel on it, but it can be turned around. The bolt holes don't line up exactly, but there is some hardware that's included that will allow you to turn it around to get everything bolted up. Obviously, you can't safely carry a passenger, so that we were thinking about if you plan on carrying passengers. But if you do turn this thing around, it is so comfortable to sit in. It's like an armchair or a recliner. It's so comfortable to sit in. You can lay the seat back and stretch out, and it's really, really comfortable. I've done that many times. Just watched the world go by as I'm out camped somewhere in the middle of nowhere. On the outside, too, it does have rain visors on both the front windows. I would not go back to not having that on any vehicle I was using for camping or serious traveling. It's so nice to, if you have to stealth camp, you can leave your window down, an inch or so on each side, and it's not obvious it's down. But also, even if you camp legit somewhere, these things allow you to have the window down a little bit when it's raining to get some airflow through, and your rain's not coming in. It does have tip-out windows on the side here, which again, same kind of deal. They're really nice to have. And it also has three sliding vent windows, one on the passenger side here, and then there are two more on the driver's side. And again, these are really nice. They don't bring in tons of air by themselves, but you turn on a fan or something in conjunction with these, and the front window's cracked and the other door windows tipped out, you really can get some air moving through, and it helps a whole lot. So it does include a full-size spare tire, and this matches the front tires. And the back tires are BF Goodrich all-terrains, and they've done really, really well for me. These tires actually came with a van. Greg had put them on, but they've done very well. And then we have Laufens on the front here, and again, these match the full-size spare matches these. Okay, and inside, it does have a 5,000 BTU air conditioner installed in the back. I put that in last summer when it got to be like May, and it was getting into the 90s every day down here in the Mojave Desert, and it does work really well. Nice thing with it is it's like 400 or 450 watts, so you can run it on a standard extension cord, so you don't need like a 30 amp hookup or anything. So if you're, parked in your friend's driveway for a weekend, you can run air conditioning, or you can run anywhere pretty much you can plug in, like at a campsite or state park or anything. So that's really very helpful. It works great up to into the 90s. Once it starts getting like above 100 degrees, it's better than outside, but it struggles to keep up at that point. But the windows there does have the hardware for it, so if you ever want to take that air conditioner out and replace it with a window, it's there. You can do that. Don't have refrigeration in here, but it does have a cooler that's included with it, and of course lots of under bed storage. What's nice with these high tops, though, is you get a ton of other storage. So we have storage over the doors here, and then these shelves. These fit nicely. Those little baskets you find at Walmart or Home Depot or anything. They fit in there nicely, and that goes all the way around on the other side as well. And then we have overhead storage or in the front and the rear. These latches were custom made by Greg, so lots of nice extra storage there. And I've always loved the woodwork in this van. Greg did a great job with that. So this is the back one. Again, so really nice to have that extra storage. That is one thing I do miss going back to the regular standard height van. So this was, it is a high top, but it's not like super high. So I can kind of stand up. There we go. I got my head, I have to tip my head, but I can stand up straight. So I still can get dressed and put clothes on and stuff. So that's nice. It does have a comfortable bed. I believe it's twin size. It does have a decent mattress on it as well. Okay, so coming around the back, again, it does have a full-size spare on a tire carrier, which is great because you don't have to worry about messing with it underneath. They like to rust and corrode and not come out of there. But has the air conditioner there, and again, that'll come out easily if you want to remove it at some point. There's the plug-in for it. And as far as for electrical, there's 12 volt already in here, but then for the AC, for when I was plugged into shore power, I just have this little cord here. This cord runs up to the AC box on the wall there that I used to use when I had a desk sitting there, so I'd use that for when I was working there. And then you can plug the air conditioner as well into this cord, and then I just would plug the end into a heavyweight but standard extension cord, and that took care of that. Plenty of storage under the bed. This side, this pile is kind of squishy. It's not as big as it looks, but this is reflectix and window coverings and window screens for the doors and front windows. And let's see, I used to use these for windshield covers on the outside. And let's see, okay, we have 4 tire covers too. These fit the tires. They were covered all summer when they were stored in the Mojave Desert. And I don't use them a ton because I tend to travel so much. I drive the tread off long before they rot out. But if you are parking for a while, it's nice to have those to make your tires last longer. It's solar ready. The whole van is solar ready. Here's the solar charge controller here. There are 2 inputs for it. I did at one point have a 100-watt portable panel on the roof, and a flexible panel on the roof, and that was the input for that with a standard MC4 connectors. There's also an input on the side. And this, if you have a portable you want to put on the ground, you can plug in here as well. You do have to change the ends. It's not MC4. This is from Zamp Solar, this plug-in, and that works well. So I was able to tie 2 of them in and have 2 going at the same time at different times. And then the battery goes underneath here. The wires are here. You just connect the wires to the positive and negative on the battery and add a solar panel, and you're all good to go. Does have a 12-volt ceiling fan. There's Mylar in there right now above the screen, just because the last time I was camping in here, I was running the air conditioner because it was over 100 degrees, so I was trying to keep all the cool air in that I could and keep the hot air out. It does have lights throughout, 12-volt LEDs, so if you put a battery back in here, you'll have lots of interior lighting, which is really nice too. So there are a few quirks with this van, like any older vehicle. Some of them I fixed over time, some I haven't got to yet. Power windows and door locks work, but the switch is a little mushy here, so it will lock. This side doesn't want to unlock. I think that just needs a new switch. So as far as when you're driving, everything runs great. The airbag light is on. It's been on sale in the van. I've never bothered to try and figure it out. And the check engine light will sometimes come on and turn off by itself while you're driving. It runs fine. It's just back from the mechanic. Everything's good. But, it's a 93 vintage vehicle, so the check engine lights are on this vintage of vehicles. But it runs fine, and it's fresh back from the mechanic with a good verdict. As far as there is a crack in the windshield here, it never bothered me, but if that's something that bothers you, you may want to account for that when you're considering whether or not to get this van. And the final thing I know of is the side door here. It needs new cable ends. The cable for the outside handle is frayed on the end, so it doesn't want to open from outside. It works fine from inside, so I've just been reaching through and opening it. Haven't got around to replacing the cable yet because I was dealing with the other things. That just started last spring when I was dealing with the other problem. It wasn't wanting to run right. So works fine from inside. There are adapters you can get if you're handy. If you have a friend, a relative that's handy, there are adapters you can get that'll go right on the end of the cable, so you don't have to replace the whole cable. I'll include a link to those from Amazon because it's a very common thing in this vintage of Fords, apparently, not in other vintages, but in this vintage, the way they did them with plastic sheathing, they just were kind of failed over the years. So other than that, that's all I can think of for the Quirks. None of it's a big deal really, but just wanted to make it public so you know if you're interested in the van, you know what you're going to be getting. But we've been driving it around here in southern Nevada, and like I said, we've put probably 400 or 500 miles on it in the last month or so, just to make sure that it was running good and solid before we offered it up for sale, because we didn't want anybody getting stuck with a surprise. So if you're interested in this van, you can email me, robert.witham@gmail.com, and we'll get you more information. It is in Pahrump, Nevada, and we do need to find... Someone's going to need to pick it up. If you want to buy the van, you got to pick it up in Pahrump or pretty close to Pahrump. We don't really have the time or resources right now to transport it a considerable distance. And I do need to get it sold fairly quickly, so we're offering up on our channels to viewers first, because we are routinely asked by people, to help finding vans. If we don't sell it fairly quick, we're going to have to open it up to local buyers here in the Pahrump area or Las Vegas area, because we do need to get this sold fairly fast, because I'm heading up north to Wyoming for the summer and to some other places in the North Country, so I need to move this along so I can do that. And whatever funds we give this are going to help fund some modifications and improvements on Fancy Free and on Phoenix there in the background. So thanks for your interest in watching this video. If you are interested in the van, please hit me up at robert.witham@gmail.com, and like I said, we'll get you more information.